Alright, this video is going to be on dividing with decimals, which I started with you guys in class, and it's the most accepted way of turning fractions into decimals, although there are other ways of doing it as well. So the first thing that's really important to know is that the numerator, the number on top, is the one that goes inside, and the denominator goes on the outside. This is important because the next one we're going to do actually has them flip-flopped. The 2 is going to be on the top and the 5 is going to be on the bottom, and you'll see we do get different answers. So you ask yourself, how many groups of 2 can I make out of 5 things? And you can make 2. If you do, we do 2 times 2 is 4, and we subtract. So 5 minus 4 is 1. So I can make 2 groups of 2, and I would have 1 left over. One of the things that we've been doing is turning this into a mixed number and saying 2 and 1/2, which is accurate, but it's not the answer using decimals. So if you want to use decimals for this, we do have to look into another method. And so that's when we talked about splitting the 1 into 10 pieces. That's where that extra 0 comes from. If we split 1 into 10 pieces, how many groups of 2 can I make with 10? And the answer would be 5. If I do 5 times 2, I get 10. And when I subtract, I get 0. When I get 0, I know I'm done. So 5 over 2 equals 2 and 5/10. For this next one, though, the roles are switched around. The 2 is on the inside, and the 5 is on the outside. And if I ask, how many groups of 5 can I make with 2 things, the answer would be 0. I can't really make any because I don't have enough to make 5. So that means we would do 0 times 5 is 0. We'd subtract, and all I have is leftovers. What do I do with my leftovers? Break it into 10 pieces. That's where this extra 0 comes from. We can add our decimal point in. How many groups of 5 can I make from 20? That would be 4. I'm going to do 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract, and I got to the lovely 0. When we get to 0, we're done. 2 over 5 is equal to 4/10. Now this last one is a little bit different. The 2 is still on the top, so it goes on the inside, and the 3 goes on the outside. If I try to make groups of 3 out of 2, I do not have enough. This is looking very similar to my last one so far. I do 2 minus 0, I get 2, so I know to break it up into 20 pieces. Add the decimal point in on the top and the bottom. How many groups of 3 can I make from 20? I can make 6, because 6 times 3 is 18. And I would have 2 left over. Now this is where it starts to get different because before we had a 0 left over and now we have a 2. When you have leftovers, you keep going. So I take my 2, I break it into 10 pieces, and I can fit 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. Interesting. If I keep going and break this 2 into 20 pieces, I'm noticing that I'm always ending up with this pattern of 20 minus 18, 20 minus 18, 20 minus 18. And that pattern is actually going to go on forever. When this happens, you can't leave your answer just like that. What you have to do is tell the world that the 6's are going to repeat forever by putting the line over it. Once you put the line over it, it is a correct answer, but if you leave it without the line, like it is right here, that's technically not a fully correct answer. Everything you've done so far is correct, but it doesn't tell me that you understand that it goes on forever and ever and ever. So, that's it for now. There's some fractions and decimals. I hope that was helpful.